No headphones, no soundproofing, no clue what we were doing. Just a powered speaker on the garage floor and two Gen X guys deciding to hit record.
Hi, I'm Jason.
I'm Jason.
Greg.
And this is
We are
Chatting the
Gen
Chat
X,
Face.
And welcome to our podcast.
Welcome to our
We're the
podcast. I want to give a shout out to everyone who listens to us, to our audio-only listeners, to our largest fan base that we have. Good Lord, you guys are amazing. You guys rock. And we are taking in new countries all the time. That's right. We are international on our audio side over there. Hey, audio side, we have videos over on YouTube. We have Facebook if you guys want to follow us over there. Hey, Facebook. Hey, YouTubers. We have an entire 4-year catalog, 200 episode catalog on our audio-only side, found everywhere you consume audio content. We're everywhere. We are international. I don't mind bragging. It took a lot of work to get there. Anyways, thank you to our listeners, subscribers, followers, and all the random folks who stop by and just chat and say, hey. Our Monday crew, our huge audio fan base, and our largest platform. Thank you, guys. We are by far outside the United States. So some of the new countries that just showed up, Vietnam, Germany, the UK, our day ones in Canada, Australia, Spain, Indonesia, Brazil, Finland. Yes, hundreds of downloads coming out of these countries. Oh my goodness. We are beyond proud and beyond blessed and beyond grateful that, everybody, whoever just stops by and says hi. Thank you guys for that. Appreciate you. All right. Hey, you know what? How Gen X started a podcast in the garage and kept it going. Basically, we had a powered speaker on the floor, and Greg just showed up, and we said, let's start recording, right? That's it. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you. Just kidding. It's a little bit more than that. You know what I did do? I went ahead and I went through the Gen X archives, because we have archives now, and I pulled together all of the sets, where we started, how it began. If you are talking about or considering starting your own podcast, we went audio only, so we didn't need a stage, but at some point, we knew we wanted to do video, and this is how we were doing our setup. So check this out. Let's walk back through to the very beginning, to our early stages in my garage in Folkirth Towers. So off to the left over there, the shiny black thing, that's the corner of my setup. I'm sitting in there. I have the mixer. I have my hands on the audio controls. The chair ahead on the right, that's Greg's chair. That's where he sits. And this is where we recorded our very first podcast. Well, you do know that you are a monkey ass biatch. Donnie, what's up, man? How you doing? Yes. Tammy Tams, how you doing? So what we're watching here, okay, so here we go. Here's the second setup for our stuff. So, starting a podcast, we wanted a place to sit down. There was two of us. We needed some space. We wanted to be in a place that was kind of quiet, we were doing audio. But by the 10th episode, we'd made ourselves a promise that we're going to do video. It wasn't until like 2 years later. However, here's our second setup. We have a couch, and we played with the couch idea. How are we going to set this up? We had what we call, the treasure chest in front of us. The Gen X's in the early days, our guests when we had a guest, and we'd do the whole thing with them, do the whole episode. We'd send them home with their X. They get to pick a color X, and they get a signed T-shirt. Greg and I would sign a T-shirt, and we'd give it to them. They go home now. Gen X, this is now I'm an adult. I have my X. I have my T-shirt. I've been on the podcast. Season 1 guests all got that. We kind of let go in season 2. However, this is our second setup for what we wanted to start our podcast. We literally started in a garage. You see the abalone shell? I still have the abalone shell. Where's it at? It's right here. Boom. Got that thing right there. These are the same microphones. I have the boom box. That little setup back there didn't last very long. We tried it. Here's where we transitioned and said, hey, you know what? It's hot out in the garage. The summers were brutal. The winters were cold. I did insulate the garage door, so some sound, was dampened, but it was hot in there. It was super hot, or it was super cold. There was really no way to kind of regulate the temperature in there. It was a garage. It was a finished garage, but, here we are. So we move inside the house. I take over the kitchen. This is my kitchen of my house. I took out the kitchen table. Yes, I took out the kitchen table, made it a green screen room, and put the couch in there. Here's the thing. I needed a background. I needed a backdrop. I didn't have a backdrop to do my podcast in front of. Some people use a blank wall. Some people just do it in their den or like at a desk or something or someplace kind of cool, like the end of their counter and the kitchen's in the background. I ain't got it like that. You know what I mean? So basically, I had to make my own background. And so I bought this green screen. It's 10 feet by 20 feet and covered my entire kitchen. And so, so with the green screen, I can put whatever background I wanted. We could be anywhere. We played with this background for a little bit. We did this one for quite a bit. You see the mixer we have up on the table and the green screen right there. We were putting the guests' pictures up there, in post-production. So, in like for our thumbnail and stuff like that. So this is another version, but in the house. This one actually came before we green screened the entire thing. I'll put the little boom box up there too. Brand new boom box. So this is what it looks like behind the scenes. You know what I mean? This is kind of how we do it. This is, it's not very glorious. It's not very glamorous, I guess. It's not, anything super exciting. But, however, this is how you do it. And you know what? There's been at least 10 of our people, 10 people I know that have reached out and said, hey, we want to start a podcast. I want to start a podcast. How would I start?
Are we adults yet? Full Curve Towers is closing. And we
That's
are
right.
moving across town. So, in a little bit, we'll set up shop across there. And by the time our next live session rolls out, we will have a brand new place to broadcast from. So, see you guys in a few days.
This was the last broadcast from Full Curve Towers. Now you see I have all the props there, the kitchen, and basically I took down the green screen, took all my props, put the kitchen table back in, and moved across town. Into the new room, the room we are in now. This is what it looks like from the door. This is what you guys see. That's our table. That's Chatty McChatface in the corner. That's the green screen behind us. But this is what we see when we're shooting our podcast. I get to see my Atari. I get to see all my Atari games. I get to see the Gamer Mag, Gamer Pro Mag that was gifted to us. That's collector's, limited edition. I get to see all that cool stuff. Let's go back to it real quick. My on-air sign and the TV. Yeah, we use the TV a lot. If it's a long outline, I have a HDMI into my laptop. I'll just throw the Word doc right up there on top and into the TV, and we get to watch from there. And I can scroll and do all the things. So, anyways, that's all the work we put into a podcast before we even. Well, kind of that's the growth, right? And that's, kind of what we recommend and kind of what we did is, don't get stuck with one idea and certainly don't be afraid to try new things, right? And, we've been at this 4 years and we're, kind of just now have a good, steady, solid group of followers, right? We now have like a decent footprint out there. It's taken us 4 years. So in your first year, the first 6 months, you're not getting views and you're not getting, the likes and the content, the attention that you're thinking that you're getting or you wanted to get. Just keep pumping out. And here's why. The best advice we ever got for starting our podcast or for doing anything, right, is Gary Vaynerchuk, and we'll say this forever. Gary V said, don't worry about views. Don't worry about your likes. Don't worry about what people say. Don't worry about comments or anything. Make your content. Make your content. Your tribe will find you. Turn your camera on, flip it around, and say something and post it. Do something and post it. And you'll find followers. It's how you do it. And if you're a hot chick, you get them faster. That's all. That's all there is to it, right? Look maxing, I think is a thing. This is what they do now. So anyways, all right. Oh, so you got to see our garage setup, a DJ equipment, microphone, our mixer, and our laptop, our powered speaker on the floor. We didn't have headphones. We had a rough outline, but we didn't have a script. We still don't have a script today, but we have an outline that gives us the idea, so we kind of stay on topic. But it's not a script to where it's just our own natural language, right? So I do recommend doing that. I do recommend having an outline to keep a direction. You want a trajectory. You want to kind of stay in a perfect, in a direction, right? So here's the thing. We weren't trying to launch a media empire. We were trying to see if this thing even worked. That's what we were trying to do. We were just kind of, hey, is this thing going to work? So, and like I said in the beginning, and like, last week's episode, Greg showed up. Greg keeps showing up, so we keep doing this. Not that, we'd quit if he didn't show up, but that was a big driving force. You know what I mean? 52 weeks a year, 4 years in a row now, consistently. Here we are, right? So, all right. What we're going to go do is go back to our very first podcast, our very first episode. It's only 30 minutes long. We're not going to play the whole thing in its entirety. I have some clips from it. We're going to play a few parts of it. And I'm going to tell you, when you start your own podcast, when you start your own YouTube channel, oh my God, don't worry about being perfect from the beginning, because I thought this was really good, but going back to see what it's like now, it's pretty cringy. And I'm not fishing for compliments. I'm not trying to just, bash on myself. I'm just saying, I wasn't afraid to try new things. So now we have a bigger, better, a more growing, just a more, I won't say it, robust podcast, but we kind of do now, right? Because, you venture out, you try things, you hit dead ends, you hit flat spots, you hit, a lot of crowd, you hit a lot of attention. So you kind of play with that for a little bit and you just get out there and explore. You just get out there and do your thing, right? But our very first podcast is a little cringy. It really is. So I'm going to play some clips from it.
Hi, I'm Jason.
And I'm Greg.
Okay, so right off the top, we made everybody listen to our intro every single time.
Generation to grow up without internet.
Poor guys. So
There's the
sorry.
last generation that played outside all day.
Until the street lights came on,
We watched cartoons on Saturday mornings.
while reading the cereal box during commercials.
We didn't have cell phones in our pockets.
We shared
One house phone.
Growing up over
Our lives have been
We're recording.
We're on.
We're now
All right,
eating
here we
our
go, guys.
50s, and we are still wondering, are we adults
Imagine your
yet?
eyes opening. You're waking up into your brand new podcast, your first one. You've hit record. You have an outline. So we're recording.
We're on.
We're on. This is it. Episode 1.
Dang.
Gen X.
Go
Are-
time.
Are we adults yet? Welcome to our podcast.
Welcome.
My name's Jason.
And I'm Greg.
I'd like to thank you guys for listening. We put together this little podcast, a little bit out of boredom, a little bit out of desire, a little bit of a whole bunch of let's just see what we can do with this. 7 freaking seconds in, back off the mic, Jason. Good Lord. Here's why you need headphones, so you can hear this in real time. We didn't have headphones for our first one. We were just on the mic. Apparently, I'm nervous. I'm talking fast. I'm all over the microphone. I'm breathing heavy. The thing's down my throat. Good Lord. Here we are.
Now that we don't have any rules,
We do have some rules. Let's start with those real quick. Let's start with those.
Contradicting Greg right off the top. Now that we don't have any rules, we do have some rules. Here we go. Organize with your co-partner, with your co-host. Organize with the guy. You don't want to just be doing kind of like Joe Rogan does it, like when he's commentating. Like he'll correct the other commentators. He just will. Well, that's not actually that move. That's more of a this and that. Well, he wasn't thinking that. He'll just argue. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. You should be in congruence. Anyways, take a listen.
Take nothing we say seriously.
nothing.
We are not experts.
We don't know what we're talking about.
We are not giving advice. Do
No,
not
no.
take our advice. If I say take this advice,
Don't take it.
you need to hear do not.
Yeah, don't take it.
Do not take our advice. We are not professionals.
Don't do
in
any of the things.
Way.
Yeah.
We're going to give a lot of advice.
Yeah, probably.
Don't take it.
I thought that was so clever. I did back in the early days. I thought that was the most clever thing. Don't take our advice. We're going to give you lots of advice. I thought that was the funniest thing. I thought that was just the neatest, funniest thing. Our first gimmick. Don't take us seriously and never take our advice.
Episode 1 calls for a little backstory, a little foundation, kind of what we're doing, where we're from, kind of who we are, kind of frame this whole podcast kind of thing. Hopefully by the end of the podcast, we can answer the question, are we adults yet?
Are
and
we?
that's, I don't know.
Is it a feeling?
That's kind of the scope.
Is it an age?
It's not an age. I don't think it's a feeling. I don't think it's any single milestone. It may not be a collection of milestones, but I think it's more of how you manage things.
Ooh.
Juicy.
Uh-oh.
A little
Yep.
bit. All right.
Again, I thought that was epic too. I thought I was dropping this big teaser, this big cliffhanger, this juicy bite of oh my God, I got to listen more. I made that up right there on the spot. And you can kind of tell when it's
kind of made up. Anyways, keep listening.
First topic is going to be family. I got family. I'm grateful for that. I do. My Ohana, is that what it is?
Is that what you say?
Lilo and Stitch. My Ohana family. Family means nobody gets left behind. Well, my life. I started in Manteca.
Fucking extra,
a little
man.
tiny town, smack dab in the middle of a.
I'm so fucking extra. Such a tryhard. I used 92 words to try and tell you where I'm from. I could have just said Manteca, California.
Agricultural California.
Were you born there?
I was born there. In fact, the doctor that delivered my first kid.
True.
I was sitting there. He's delivering my son, and I asked him, "Hey, do you remember me?" And he's like, "No, but I remember your mother." True story. Same guy.
That's crazy.
Small
That's the
town.
small town stuff.
That's small town. It's about 25,000 people. 25,000 people.
Not that small.
1972. I'm not afraid to say my age. I mean, we're speaking to the people the same age.
I was born in East LA.
We're going to say cool stuff so them youngins feel cool listening to us. Trying to rope them guys in.
No, I didn't hear him. And no, we don't go back to that. I was born in East LA, and that was it. And I never went back to it. We never heard that. I completely ignored him, completely spoke over him. And you know what? I caught it later in post. I caught it in editing, and I'm like, oh shit. So episode 2 is called Home. And I was trying to be fancy with one-word titles, right? And I was trying to be all epic from the beginning, do all this cool nostalgia stuff from the get, right? And episode 2 is basically Greg's whole backstory. So if you want to hear Greg's story, it's number 2. This one's not really my story. I think whatever accountability is, that one's mine. It's a couple weeks out from our very first one. But anyways, so thank you guys for joining us. We are tripping back through our very first podcast, talking about the cringy moments, a little bit of growth, a little bit of learning, and you know what? This is kind of cringy.
Keep with the lingo.
Yeah.
Keep it fresh.
Well,
Tight.
probably. Manteca. Grew up there. First 10 years, started having little brothers. Family grew. It's pretty good. By the time I was 15, I was one of 5. It was pretty cool. Enjoyed that part. Yes. You look cool, though.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It's not Idaho. Iowa. Thank you. I don't remember meeting them. I just remember always being friends. I don't know. Maybe mom just drug them around everywhere. I don't know. Friends around. Plenty of friends around all the time. We always had people living with us. There was always people living with us, it seemed like. And they were cool.
So here's
One
my
of best
backstory.
friends growing up. I think that's how I met him. I don't remember meeting him. I just remember always being friends with him. His name was Eric.
Yeah.
I tell a lot of stories about Eric.
His mom was, her name was Sue-Ann, and her boyfriend was Eddie. And I just remember one day that Eric's going to live with us. Yay. Eric always kind of moved away and came back, moved away. And
The whole
came back.
family or just the kid?
Just the kid. He'd always move away and come back. I don't know. Maybe mom just drug him around everywhere. I don't know. Right. But all the time. But he was a good guy, you know.
He was a good
Trouble together.
Eric
found
Henderson,
out
shout out.
that this other person that was in a guy named Crazy Sandy. Oh, Crazy Sandy?
Change the picture of my head.
No.
Yeah, see, I'm good then. He was a biker.
Really? In front of a bar?
Spot.
I guess. Right there. Like a UPS driver. Been 10, I don't know, somewhere in there. I feet dangled in that while you sat facing Granny Goose. Oh my
Here we go.
In the
To kick
van.
it.
I was supposed to watch him.
Sorry, guys, here we go.
Babysitter or something.
The Granny Goose story.
It was a big babysitting spot.
The Granny Goose story. My dad owned a Granny Goose van. The Granny Goose potato chips when we were like little kids. Well, they had the big delivery vans, like the UPS vans. That's what I'm describing. So I skipped forward a little bit. The Granny Goose story is kind of important. I want to go over that, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the cringiness of our first episode and how we started this podcast literally in a garage.
I
It was
guess.
a potato chip truck turned into a babysitting spot in a bar.
Well, we
parking
never
lot.
slept in that van. That was the Granny Goose. Oh my God! So the Granny Goose, right? Shotgun seat, beanbag chair. So you're sitting in a beanbag chair going down the street. There are no seatbelts. You're right there, like a UPS driver.
Gen X,
Imagine
baby.
Little
another guy-
stairs.
No fucking
Next to the
seatbelts.
Stairs,
stairs.
yeah, right there. Your feet dangled in that while you sat facing backwards in a beanbag chair. Right.
Dope.
Yes. Anyways, we're driving down the street. We're not going that fast. We're going. I don't know. I'm like 8. I could be 6. Could have been 10. I don't know. Somewhere in there.
I think I was
Somewhere.
7.
I tell my dad, I can run this fast. He's like, hop out. So I get all pumped up. I'm like, I can do it. I can do it. I can run this fast. He's like, do it. Jump. I jump. My feet hit the ground. They stick. That ground comes up so fast and smacks me in the face twice. Bap, bap. My hands are skinned. My knees are skinned. My lip is all numb. I feel my nose is like starting to burn because it's all scraped up. I get back in the car. Go. And this is like one of the first times, or maybe the last times, I heard my dad laugh so hard. And he's got a really.
What kind of surface were you on?
We were driving down the road.
So road, like road.
Asphalt, black, rocks covered in tar, stationary. I was mobile, soft skinned, mobile. I think when I told that story,
You got to get the legs kicking.
well, they didn't kick. They did.
So the point is, the Granny Goose story. So what I'm getting to is I'm starting to tell these childhood stories that are like horrific. They're not really. That were challenging or traumatizing. They weren't that bad. And, all these other stories that I was going to tell. And then Greg's got his family scar story. If you know Greg, if you know his family, everybody in that family has a scar. And it's all like right here on their forehead or something like that. That's how they get their scar. So I think at least the guys have it in the family or something to that effect. So the point of all of this is we started this podcast in a garage, and it wasn't that we just set up this equipment. It wasn't that we just set up everything and just started the story, and we just started telling stories or anything. We put a lot more into it. We put into a lot of work into creating a universe in which for us to operate. And that's what the title of our podcast is, Gen X. That's our generation. That includes everything. Are we adults yet? And the fact that we're asking for adults leaves it open to do adulting things and to do kid-like things as adult. And I've told my kids this: I'm like a big kid with adult money. We can go do stuff. Let's go have fun. Let's go burn shit. Let's go shoot stuff. Let's go rockets, and let's go. You know what I mean? Let's go have some fun, right? So, anyways, the whole thing was don't take us seriously and don't take our advice. Our first episode, we are telling these backstories, and when we get to it, when the whole thing comes down to it, I kind of break it down. I'm going to find it here, but I kind of break it down.
Carry on, right?
Plenty.
Like family recipes. My grandfather and my father's chicken adobo recipe. I want to give that to those parents. Now, whether that was trauma like domestic violence or drug abuse or verbal abuse or physical,
The adult.
did it have an impact? Was this something that just was so whatever? I mean, don't get me wrong. My parents didn't. I mean, they're good, strong, loving people. They gave me a lot of good stuff. They gave me my faith. They gave me, a lot, everything I needed. My needs were met. Right? Don't get me wrong. Right?
Dude, everybody loved your.
And they're not here to defend themselves, so I'm not dragging them through it. But the point is, I'm really trying to bring up is, sometimes we grow up through stuff, and just because we survived it doesn't mean we did it right or it didn't have an impact or whatnot.
Or we're trying to pass it on.
Or we're trying to, yeah. But if it did create a problem, if it did create a glitch in your matrix, in your system, I think just surviving it or acknowledging it alone doesn't qualify you as an adult, right? No. I think you're an adult when you can recognize and unfuck your glitches, right? Generational curses, generational trauma, whatever you call it, cycles, things that, our parents experienced from their parents based on whatever they went through.
Did you guys catch that? I think it's the first time and only time, well, obviously the first time, but I think it's like the only time we answer the question, are we adults yet? On the podcast. We're supposed to work that into every episode. Are we adults yet? Well, yes, when you can, blah, blah, blah. But check this out. This is the whole basis of our entire podcast. Adulting doesn't mean, for us, it doesn't mean an age. It doesn't mean what you own. It doesn't mean your job. It doesn't mean what you've accomplished in life, if you are a parent or not a parent. Can I be an adult and not own a home? Absolutely. Can I be an adult and not have kids? 100%. Can I be an adult and have or not have anything? Yes, 100%. Because what we defined in the very first episode, and is what we've carried through every episode, is you're an adult when you can recognize, and two, unfuck your glitch. Oh my God, I'm just so depressed. I've just been depressed. I've been clinically depressed for years. Blah blah blah. Okay, good. You recognized it. What are you doing with it? You're just sitting in it. Fix it. Address it. That's when you're an adult. That's when you're adulting. It's not a destination. It's a journey, just like everything else in life.
But when you can recognize your own, whether somebody tells you or you just start taking a lot of damage in life, broken relationships mean with employers, and relationships mean with law enforcement and your family. All of those relationships, right? So, going back to our very first podcast, number one, it's super cringy. The quality wasn't there. We've certainly grown in our ability to deliver content. We've certainly grown in our media in which we deliver content. But the one thing we haven't gotten away from is that once you recognize and unfuck your glitches, that's when you're an adult. And that's the definition we've kept. And that will come up in a lot of episodes. Anytime we're talking about adulting, that's the definition for us. It fits everything. If you're considering starting your own podcast, do it. Come up with a name. That's great. Consider the universe in which you're going to operate in. Is this going to be about a day in the life, like a vlog? Cool. Do it. Are you on a journey? Post it. Talk about it. Do you have something to say? Do you just want to give advice while having coffee every morning? Even if you read that advice off a calendar little thing, or you have an app that just feeds you, good stuff every morning at 6 a.m. while you're sipping coffee and contemplating life and, loving everything, and you just want to shoot a quick 30-second video. Hey, everyone, don't forget, nature is beautiful, and so are you. Tee-hee, top of the morning to you. Click. 6.2 billion views. 100%. It doesn't matter what you post. Post you. You are what's going to sell your content. If people like you, they'll watch your content. If they don't like you, people are going to make fun of your content. Either way, get your content out there. How we started in the garage. We started with all this fancy stuff, but you know what? Technology now, that was just 4 years ago. You know how far the camera and audio recording have come in 4 years on an iPhone? You can do it all from your phone now. If you have the iPhone or even some of the Androids, I imagine, you can do it all from your phone now. You don't need this fancy 80s background. You don't need this fancy, green screen. You know what I mean? You don't. You can just set your phone up. You can just sit at your kitchen table and do whatever. And you want to do some fun edits? You want to do some cool stuff? Get something like CapCut. That's free. You can pay for it too, but it's got a free version. You can do some cool edits and some cool effects. That's what all the kids are doing. So we started ours in a garage, man. We had a lot of fun doing it. And you know what? It doesn't matter what happens or what we do or don't do with this content. What really matters is that Greg and I are having a ton of fun doing it. And we got a bunch of friends who are excited about it. I'm not going to call him out, but you know who you are, brother. I shout his name out on the show, and he feels famous, man. I fucking love that. I love that. I do. That means they're sharing with us, and that was the whole point, guys. Hey, and Daya's got a podcast. Let's go be a guest. Let's go talk about it. Let's go watch. Let's go do this. Let's go whatever, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, that's going to do it for me tonight, folks. I want to thank you guys for tuning in and hanging out with us. That's how we started the podcast. It wasn't that difficult. There was some planning. There was some organization. But once we built some kind of borders a little bit, balls out. We just went. We had a good time with it. So my name is Jason. This is Chetty McChatface. He fills in when Greg's not here. Greg is out running his business, doing extremely well. Good Lord. Put your hands together and pray for that guy. He is killing it out there. Good job, buddy. Super proud. So that's it for us tonight. Have a good night. Peace out, everybody. Oh, Engel. Hey, there you are. Hey, brother. I'm going to give a shout out to Mike Engel. Hells yes. Give a shout out to Donnie Laughlin. Hells yes. Give a shout out to Tammy Tams. Hells yes. And everyone else who came by tonight. Peace out, gentlemen and ladies.